Hello everyone and welcome back to the Great Book of Grudges. My name is Nathan and yeah, we have a little bit of gameplay for Shadows of Change, more specifically the Changeling. And when I say little, yeah, unfortunately I mean little. It's only a 7-minute clip which doesn't really show off a lot of gameplay. I haven't seen it just yet, but let's be honest, we know how Creative Assembly do their Let's Plays. It's mostly bad jokes and faffing about. So I'm a little bit concerned. I'm going to come in with an open eye, however. It's just any other Let's Plays that we've seen, either of Pharaoh, the Chaos Dwarfs, or even the Champions of Chaos, have usually been around 20 minutes. So, yeah, I guess we'll just jump right in, stop wherever we need to, and comment, I guess.
What is the worth of mortal life without a little chaos? My staff has merely been the carrot, and I am the stick. Let the game begin.
Okay, pretty cool fan service shots, but that's exactly what it is, fan service. The fact is, this DLC is going to cost 25 euros, at least where I'm from. We need to see a little bit more gameplay, but a minute of that has already been spent on literally fan service. Again, don't get me wrong, this is really cool, but these are animations that we will not see in-game. I want to know about this faction, I want to know what it's capable of, I don't want to see masquerading. That is something that I'll do myself when I get my hands on the DLC, and I'm assuming you guys too. But yeah, we want to know what we're going to be paying for, essentially, right?
The Changeling, a trickster, a schemer, and a cult leader. Always present, but never seen. He can take on many faces, all but one, the great god Tzeentch himself. Excited to see the deceiving horror in action? You can order or share your thoughts below. In the Realm of Chaos campaign, the Changeling starts his journey of deception and disorder in Nordland. And in the Immortal Empires campaign, he begins his scheming in Stirland.
Alright, so we have start positions here, something of substance. We've got Nordland for the Realm of Chaos, which I'm assuming you guys will want to play at least once if you do end up getting this DLC, because, you know, story-wise and so on, as far as we are aware, each of the races will have their own different stories. And interestingly enough, Stirland, yeah, for the Immortal Empires. I mean, it's going to screw over Carl Franz a little bit more. He's already got a very difficult campaign. It looks like everyone just wants to dogpile there. To be fair, I would have probably gone with Cafe myself. On the plus side, it might slow down the expansion that Vlad normally has, so that could work out quite well. And if you're playing as the Changeling, it won't matter anyway. Any enemy is an enemy anyway. So, yeah, I mean, I guess we'll have to wait and see.
The Changeling operates in the shadows and will never overtly hold a settlement, but this does not make him a horde faction.
Alright, this is pretty interesting because we saw he picked Symbiotic, and then there are 3 options here. You've got Symbiotic Trickster Cult, establish Military Trickster Cult, and then establish Parasitic Trickster Cult. What's the difference? I guess different buildings where there might be like 6 different options for the cults or something to give you reason to play around. I mean, one is a military building, we can kind of expect what that's going to do. And yesterday's blog also did give some information regarding Symbiotic and Parasitic, which Symbiotic will allow you to boost up the said faction, but take from them at the same time, kind of like working together, and Parasitic is you more leeching from them. I don't know. Well, hopefully we'll get to see a bit more of this.
Isn't tied to a region. He can roam about the map, recruiting units from anywhere, and is free from all diplomatic penalties from trespass.
So we know we're going to be unlocking forms as we get close and discover other factions. You can see here, he's just picked up Manfred. Yeah, it's going to be pretty interesting, that's for sure, because that means that you're going to have a lot to play around with. It's kind of interesting that he didn't have to defeat Manfred to unlock him, though. I guess that would be too much, because then that means that you'd have to hunt them down. I don't know. It's going to be quite curious because there must be some sort of cooldown, right? Or else it's going to be really easy to just counter your enemies, which will make the campaign too easy, I guess.
Passing. His only goals are to scheme and sow chaos while his cults operate obscured within settlements he has won victory over. After winning a settlement, the Changeling can plant hidden trickster cults to the ends of creating disorder in one form or another.
I don't know what's going on here because when you take over a settlement, you've got two options. When you've got a hero action, you've got three options. I don't know, maybe it's just they had originally planned to do 3 different types and then they removed it to make it only 2 but forgot to remove that here because that kind of does happen sometimes.
There are 2 types of building chains, symbiotic and parasitic.
Okay, so everything's together and we can see that all the buildings are there. I think I figured it out. If you pick military, it will start with a military building. If you pick symbiotic, it starts with a symbiotic building. And if you pick a parasitic one, well, then you start with a parasitic building. It's not that it's individualized cults, it's literally just what it starts with. Okay, fair enough. A little bit of a shame, to be honest. Mostly because I thought you'd have more options. Because the way the blog made it sound was it's supposed to be 2 different things. And then obviously when we saw the 3 options there, it's supposed to be 3. I mean, the benefit is that you won't get confused throughout different things, I guess. You'll just have to remember what's symbiotic, what's parasitic, and what's, well, military is easy enough, right? But yeah, perhaps the wording in the blog could have been a little bit better. Because it did make it sound like there were 2 different types of cults.
Symbiotic buildings help the settlement grow, and of course, this helps the Changeling at the same time. The better a settlement does, the better you do. Parasitic buildings, on the other hand, cause damage and destruction, rotting the settlement and region from within. So there are a few choices to make. Do you want your host settlement to thrive, slowly die, or have a balanced give and take? For the most part, symbiotic buildings won't cause any real issues for the host settlement, and they can be blissful in their ignorance. They will provide you with fewer cult supplies compared to their parasitic counterparts, but that's the trade-off for remaining in the shadows. Parasitic buildings are more disruptive, upping corruption and lowering control. They also increase the chance of your cult being discovered in a settlement, meaning your cults can be booted out.
Okay, so nothing really changes with the cult mechanic. You can focus on taking supplies, giving them some supplies, or even just, you know, the whole discoverability thing. We're used to that from the Skaven Undercities, the Pirate Coves, and so on. This isn't too much of a bad thing, because to be honest, it's an interesting mechanic. Now, seeing it expanded upon to be, well, your main hub is going to be quite interesting, mostly because you have to factor in AI destroying other cities, you know, especially you're going to be close to factions like Kazrak, you're going to be close to Festus, which really can't take those cities anyway, so he's going to break them in most cases. I wonder how that's going to interrupt the flow of the Changeling, to be honest. Again, stuff that we'll learn as time progresses.
The Warhammer world is a game board to the Changeling, and everyone in it are his pieces, all unwilling participants in his plots. This is how the Changeling has ultimate victory, by performing the ultimate scheme. But to get there, you need to perform multiple minor and grand schemes. Each theatre of war has its own set of schemes, all with different goals. Once you complete a minimum of 3 schemes in a theatre, you will be able to perform the grand scheme for that area. This unlocks a quest battle that you will need to win. Once you have completed 3 grand schemes, you will be able to unlock the ultimate scheme. Who you fight in this final battle will be determined by which grand scheme you have completed over the course of your campaign.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I actually really like what I'm hearing here, especially since, yeah, it just sounds like it's gonna be a massive quest rather than a typical Total War campaign, which I know sounds a bit weird to a lot of people because they just want to play Total War, but it's a narrative focus. I really hope that something like this obviously still shows up in the Immortal Empires with other theaters involved too, because goddamn, this actually does sound like a lot of fun. The fact is, we've seen that there are multiple ways to be able to unlock each of the quest battles. You don't have to do the same thing over and over. The more you do, the more it changes the battle, or at least that's what I'm hearing here. Yeah, really keen on this. We've had something similar actually with the Chaos Dwarfs very recently, and I guess they've just heavily expanded upon that, which, yeah, some people might not be too happy because it's basically reusing a concept. I don't mind if it's done in a unique way. You can get something and then improve upon it and make it even better with a different style. And yeah, if that's going to be the case here, yeah, I'm all for it. I like the idea of a completely different type of way to play a campaign, and it makes the most sense with a character such as the Changeling.
One of the Changeling's greatest tricks is the ability to become anyone he wishes.
Oh, so it's going to play like Pokemon. It's a catch them all situation. You can even filter it by race. This is fantastic. This is great design. I like this. The main thing is I really hope that Creative Assembly, update this anytime there's new characters involved, because sometimes they forget that when it comes to skill points and so on. But yeah, this is great. You can literally just switch and choose as you please, and obviously if you have them unlocked. I feel like a cooldown should be in effect. We haven't really seen if there is a cooldown, but I feel like one should be there.
You unlock new forms by defeating that lord or hero in battle, specific schemes, or diplomatic alliances. Once you've chosen which form you wish to take from the lords and heroes you have unlocked, you can transform into them freely in battle, inheriting their strengths and weaknesses. This opens up a huge number of tactical options when planning your grand strategies, and will always keep your opponent guessing. Comment which lord you would take into battle. To order or find out more about the game, check out the links below.
Not being funny, and maybe it's just rubbing me the wrong way because of the recent drama and so on, but I don't think they've ever done this whole YouTuber thing of, let us know what you think, comment below, order the game on this link. It just seems kind of forced. I really don't think that's ever been the case in other Let's Plays. Maybe they've been doing it on the Pharaoh ones. I'll be honest with you, I've just not been watching the Pharaoh ones. But, yeah, it just feels super forced. I shit you not, I'm half expecting the next Let's Play to start off like a Mr. Beast video, you know? We put 500 Mongols in this hole. God damn it, now I can't stop thinking about it.
Along with the assortment of existing units that the forces of Tzeentch can access, Shadows of Change brings a few more to the Raven Gods roster.
Okay, I bitched about animations before, but that one was freaking awesome, come on. I guess that's what happens when you turn back into the Changeling, which, yeah, fair enough, freaking awesome. Really like that. Sometimes a little bit of flash on the battlefield is nice. Alright, so I'm just going to let the rest of the stuff play out because they're not really showing anything. It's weird. Again, it's not even showing unit stats, which is super odd. It's one of these things that you expect, you know, or a lot more campaign stuff, a lot more, well, I'm just going to outright say it, a lot more gameplay. The Let's Plays, like I've said before, are usually around 20 minutes long with about 5 minutes of animation. This was just a lot of faff. I've liked what I've seen so far, but they really haven't shown what things are capable of. We haven't really seen the Blue Horrors in action doing their own special thing. We haven't seen A-Cold, even though A-Cold is here. But you know what I mean? It just feels like they're kind of pressed for time. I mean, come on. A lot of you guys watching this aren't first-timers. The majority of you aren't first-timers with Total War. Usually the Let's Plays are more, right? Or am I just losing my mind? But I distinctively remember, you know, with like one of the Chaos Dwarf Lords going through the first like 30 turns, just cutting off at bits and bobs there, showcasing mechanics, showcasing everything in action essentially. Now, I'm being critical here because the fact is, again, it's a €25 DLC. I said it in yesterday's video that they need to showcase a lot of gameplay if they want people to buy this DLC because, well, yeah, DLC sales are important. If not, they're just going to kill support on Warhammer 3 just like they did for Three Kingdoms. But as of this moment, I don't feel like there's going to be a lot of incentive when not a lot has been shown, barring just a little look at the mechanic, no actual deep dive into it, and no stats, no nothing essentially, and it's just kind of odd. See, the units look fantastic. The units look phenomenal. I think that Tzeentch actually got the better pull of the straw when it comes to unit design because, I mean, the Vortex Beast is the Vortex Beast. The Quockatrice is just really, really cool. The Zangor's a disappointment, but you're getting two legendary heroes, which obviously look quite unique. You get a legendary lord, too, who can turn into pretty much everyone. I just really hope that the next Let's Play is a little bit larger, that's for sure. But, yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Obviously, I know tensions are a little high at the moment, considering the announcements and everything else, but yeah, I mean, I'm gonna keep with an open mind, obviously still being critical where I need to be and positive where I can be, but until we actually get to see more or I get to play this game and actually, you know, give it a proper whirl. But yeah, have a good day everyone, and I'll see you all again very, very soon.
Wherever these wandering wizards go, magic and carnage is sure to follow. The Blue Scribes are the new legendary hero. They are quick and have a nasty assortment of spells to send all running. The Cockatrice is a large, single-entity flying monster. All talons, beak and tail, there is no safe place when this winged monstrosity is around. An abomination is all there is to be said for this horror. All magic and muscle, the mutilith vortex beast is the last thing many see. The Sangor are rampaging, axe-wielding monsters at heart. With Vanguard deployment, they can cause a lot of damage to the enemy. Echoed Hellbrass is your free LC hero, with high armor and a love of killing. You will also gain the Regiment of Renown units, the Sourguts, Shrieking Skyrays, and Aishan the Fallen. We hope you enjoyed this first look at the Changeling, his mechanics, and some of the new units that are coming to the Shadows of Change DLC. Yuanbo is next in the spotlight, so don't forget to subscribe so you know when that video drops. And if you wish to pre-order or learn more about the Shadows of Change DLC, all the usual links are in the description below.